Hello and welcome to Voices of Evermore. Today we are joined by Skyler, one of the voices from the World Talkers, an unofficial Evermore fan cast. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today, Skyler.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. I'm excited and um always happy to have an excuse to talk about Evermore. So
Yeah, I'm equally excited. It's been a while since we've heard your buttery voice in the Evermore space.
yeah,
It's been the indefinite hiatus. It's been a couple of years since the podcast ended, at least. But
yeah,
excited to hear what you have to say about Evermore since then. And also, you worked on, I'll just say this up front,
yeah,
like the bona fides or whatever.
sure.
You also worked at Evermore to an extent on the game development side of things. So,
That yes, that's correct. The reason why we went on the hiatus from the podcast is we just didn't have as much time, and we were working on yeah, the realms. Rather, sorry, Evermore Realms, as they were. There's a Realms game by like Hasbro or something, and
oh,
so
really? I didn't
yeah.
know that.
So I was like, so we I always had to make sure back then to say Evermore Realms, and then we were working on a D&D 5e campaign as well. So those are the two things that we were working on mostly. So
That's sick. Yeah, and I can't wait to talk more about that side of things. But before, we always start people off with like their introduction to Evermore,
yeah,
how they first heard about this weird theme park. So, where did you first hear about it?
that is a good question. I don't actually remember when I first heard about Evermore. I know it was before. It was probably in 2018 because I knew about it going into Fan X, and it was literally the whole kind of impetus for me to even go to Fan X that year. I was like, this thing seems cool. I've never been to a comic convention. I already love theme parks, and so it was probably an ad or something. I really don't know. But then I convinced all my friends to go with me, and I'm like, hey, let's. This is really the only panel I want to go see and hear about. So
That's dope. Okay, so you were at that FanX in 2018.
yes, yeah. So I went to that FanX in 2018 and checked out their booth, which was really cool. It just was like it was such a good selling point for Evermore, I think, even more than the panel. The panel, while the people on it were nice, it just seemed pretty directionless and not even necessarily more informative than what they were just sharing at their booth. They had just recreated the Crooked Lantern Tavern, um, had characters and like a little kind of mini maze walkthrough. Um, they were giving out like tarot cards and flyers and Evermore coins. So like, um, I was pretty sold from that point on. Um, it was just like, wow, if they're gonna do this for a convention booth, what is what's the actual experience like in park? I sadly didn't go to the VIP um, party, but then I did go to opening day.
Oh, okay, sweet. So when you actually got there and were able to experience it firsthand,
Yeah,
did it live up to your expectations or what was that like?
it really did in a lot of ways. So I was actually it was super funny, but I all of my friends went without me. They weren't as interested back then. I was supposed to be there on time, but situations came up, so I only went to opening day for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and literally from the moment that I walked through the gates, I had a much nicer time. Didn't wait in line because everybody had already got through, um, and walk in, and you just immediately see the giant faking puppet, and from that moment, I was like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. I've always wanted, immersive fantasy type experiences, and then started walking over to the tavern, and just that whole passing the gardens and seeing the tavern in the distance is like genuinely got like misty eyed, because it's just you step into I read a lot of books, I play a lot of video games, a lot of D&D, and it's like this is kind of the first time I had ever really stepped into anything that felt close to actually experiencing those types of experiences, at least in my mind. So
Yeah. Did you do any quests or anything that first night, or was it more just like the environment had that effect on you?
it was just the environment to start, and I was already again hooked right from that. I was like, I love the ambiance. I could just hang out here for forever. And then I did skip pretty far ahead in terms of like the questing, just because I caught up with my friends. They're like, hey, we're already on this way. Um, and by the end of that night, we had joined the Black Hearts, and they kind of gave me like the lowdown on other stuff, like what they had gone through already. And um and it was really fun. It was confusing, I will say. Like, in retrospect, it was kind of like you could kind of see it. It wasn't designed to be open world. It was supposed to be linear that day, and like we just kind of followed everyone's lead because they only had like a foot high like hay bales trying to direct people. Nobody was paying attention to those. Everybody was dodging them, and so I we just kind of were doing the same thing, and maybe that led to a little bit of confusion, but for the most part, it was like the actors just did such a good job. If we reach someone, they're like, "Oh, this quest is very linear. If you haven't done this yet, you just need to go back and talk to that person." So we did.
That's
But
interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
just like at the panel, it's a little directionless at the beginning of
yeah,
Evermore proper. Um, that's so that was literally the first night, and already it had kind of just fallen to we're just gonna improv this and roll with the punches like that early on in Evermore's history.
I I 100% think so. And talking to actors like just throughout the time that we were there, and even the creative directors and stuff like that, they even mentioned that they're like, hey, it was still meant to be like linear, with the end portion being a bit more open for you to like wander around. But it just right from the get go, and even talking to them, everybody was just like they just kind of scattered to the winds and went wherever. The quest again, kind of like I mentioned, the quest did feel very linear and a bit more defined, um, which helped in some ways, but yeah, I would say from the very beginning, they would have had to, everybody would have had to immediately start improving and try to sort things out. It's kind of chaos, but it as far as like a customer, I didn't have any frustrations in that regard. It felt, it made it feel real in a way, like in a different way, than I would have expected, I think. But that's kind of the best way I'd describe it, I think.
Yeah. And the friends that you went with, were they the same friends that we would all become familiar with later, like Wyatt and Chandler and Daniel, or was it a different group of friends?
Yes, I know Chandler was there for sure. I can't remember actually. Again, I was just so enraptured in everything happening. Um, Giselle was there. For people that knew her, she ended up becoming my wife. But
Yeah. Okay.
um,
So
yeah,
you came to the event with Giselle. It wasn't that you met her through Evermore. It was just like you guys from the very beginning were going.
sort of, yeah. So I was actually dating someone else when we first met. That's part of why I was late.
Yeah.
The person I was dating at the time had zero interest in fantasy stuff. And so, and I had met Giselle, her and Chandler had met um previously, and then I was roommates with Chandler, and so I had like been introduced to her, and then that's kind of the first time we were like really hanging out basically all together. So it was a big group of people, me and my roommates, and then I think Dan was there too. I don't quite remember. It really was like it felt so overwhelming. It kind of was dazzling to the senses in a way, um, for me. But but yeah.
That's cool. So that's like the very beginning of your
Yeah.
interactions with Evermore.
Yeah.
And at some point, you and your friends would be so interested in Evermore that you ended up making a podcast. How did you kind of get from point A to point B? What happened in between that grabbed your attention that much?
It was just me and my friends. We always enjoyed, being creative. Chandler was really into like PR and social media type stuff in terms of his schooling. We had a D&D group together, and so we were just already constantly creating. And while we were hooked, and like we felt that we kind of got an innate sense of understanding of Evermore. We were quite seriously from we only went to that lore three times. We went three times. And from the first day when we went on opening day, it was very apparent that like people were lost and confused, and even though we were getting a decent grasp of it, there was still like confusion and stuff and things that we felt um were difficult to understand. And so it was just really from twofold. It's we loved it so much we just need to tell everyone about it, and we started talking about it right then. It's like, hey, let's do a podcast. Like, it's relatively cheap, quote unquote, and then we just, at the time we were all poor college boys, and so it's like, let's buy some mics and stuff and figure out the format. And um, it really was by the end of that we were like, yeah, it's like by the time Aurora opens, we should have a podcast going and keep up on it, and try to help people um, navigate the the chaos. So
Yeah. I mean, that is, if you think about it, super quick to get everything up and running. Like you only went three times, and then it
yes,
was, we are an official podcast.
yeah,
We have begun kind of this two-pronged thing of helping other people out and informing them of this place to begin with. It sounds like if the idea were to come from one person more than another, it was mainly like Chandler driven because of his like expertise in the PR realm, or was it like more of a collective? It came into be.
it's a It's a good question. I don't even remember who suggested it first either. In a lot of ways, which is why I kind of loved and admire that friend group so much. Is like Dan and I were still like recent friends, and that was still pretty new for us. And but we had started as friends. We had a thing. We we had a thing because again, I don't know how it started, but we would do something called full disclosure, or like radical honesty or whatever. We changed the term to full disclosure because it's like, look, we'll tell people stuff, but like, there's also respecting people's other, like, whose information is to like to share that or whatever. But amongst us and amongst our friends, it's like there really was very little in the ways of like how we would communicate. And so in a lot of ways, I think we were just all on the same wavelength right from the get-go. And I've always been a podcast person. I don't listen to very much in the way of like music. And so definitely in terms of like the PR aspect, Chandler was like, well, I love talking to the actors and already reaching out and just trying to see like what more we can find out about, whether it's be like what's the upcoming events, and just navigating those channels. And then uh, I already had some like microphones from failed uh, Twitch streaming endeavors, as most, I feel like most college video game players like to try. And so we had a pretty cheap setup from the get go that made it pretty easy to get started. And then Dan Um, Dan was is a really great writer. He's a fantastic writer, and that's what his degree's in and what he was working towards at the time. It, and so he would like write our outlines, and so again, it just kind of all fell together. I think. I really don't recall who said like, well, let's start a podcast. Someone was probably just like, this would be a really cool podcast. So then we were like, yeah, let's do a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, it was late 2018. That was
Yeah.
a very normal thing for a bunch of guys in a room to say at some
Oh
point.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah. We're three white guys. Let's start a podcast.
that's the law.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you guys did I listened through the entire podcast right when I like kind of became involved in Evermore in early 2022. I went to a special event and then I was like, "Oh man, this is so sick. Like I can't think about anything but this for like a week."
Yeah.
And there really is it's really good that you guys documented this because there's not a ton out there.
There yeah, that's very true.
So it was dope. I listened to all of it. One thing I noticed though, and you
Yeah.
might not even know this, there are 5 episodes missing of the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Did those have to be taken down for a reason, or was it not? I'm gonna stop talking because you
No,
are.
no, 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 that's okay. I actually was going to bring this up at some point for anybody that was going back to listen. They just got caught in like whatever algorithm,
Mm,
and at the time I wasn't monitoring the emails for our podcast, and so the reason why they just got a DMCA, and it is quite literally just for the intro music that we use, which I do use the appropriate attributions. I had the rights for them. They just got hit by some automated filter, and I never stopped it in time basically, or was able to contest it. So if, I mean, I still have the episodes. If anyone ever really wants them, I'm happy to
that's
shoot
crazy.
shoot me an email. I'll send them over. I don't mind. I could probably re-upload them and it would be okay. um but yeah, that's why they were removed. I wasn't aware at the time when they got removed. So
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I was wondering if it was something like, oh, we talked about something here that we can't have out there anymore, but it was much more benign than that
yeah.
thing.
No, I was like, there was definitely anything that we included in our episodes, we always got permission or clearance from like the park itself or whatever, and then any of the music. We were really let me show. I was like, just a quick. You got to understand how like weird we were. This is literally day one before we started the podcast. I Here's a memorandum of understanding that we wrote for ourselves and friends
That's the
because
same thing that they called it for the Iran conflict. That's how
no, really,
official you guys are. It's international dispute official.
I didn't realize that. It was literally just discussing, like what our individual roles are, and you know, we we just enjoy business, and again, we're college guys, and just we have mission statements, we have responsibilities, we have ownership agreements between the like devices and stuff. So,
That's
um,
so cool. I
yeah,
feel so inept in comparison because I'm like, oh hey, like I
it's
have a laptop.
wildly unnecessary.
But
So,
that's cool to have like the lines drawn so carefully. And that like Daniel even did like outlines before each. That's probably why it was such a good podcast for people to
thank
go back
you.
and listen to if you want.
Yeah.
Except for episodes 5, 18, 21, 30, and 33, which
Yeah.
you would maybe have to talk to Skyler about.
Yeah, go ahead and just if you want them, I'm happy to send you the links. I do monitor the email now. I might not respond the quickest, but um, I still get the emails for stuff, so I can always just send over a link or a download. I really don't mind. Um, but yeah, I was like, that was just I always was taking right from the beginning very careful care to make sure that we were within fair use laws and all that type of, as well as we just, part of it was Chandler with his PR stuff too, was always emphasis on like, hey, we want to build good relationships because the more, like, the better we represent the podcast and the park and our relationship with them, it just kind of gets you more, they're more willing to give you access or talk to you about things because we're willing to um, respect that basically.
Yeah, and that definitely ended up being the case. There was multiple occasions where you guys got access because of how you were willing to collaborate with them. Like I remember an episode about when they did their auditions for people to come and like try to act at Evermore. They
Yeah.
also invited you guys so that you could see what it was like.
Yeah.
And a couple of other things like that that they were when they were looking for who they could reach out to bring in more, you guys became like a really obvious choice early on. Was there any time that no, that question stinks. How did it feel to be thought of as like kind of these special boys
Yeah.
that we like to talk to you about stuff for something that you were such a big fan of.
It was very cool. I will say a lot of the access, even like early on, probably one of the things that we just asked about really early on is we did like a giveaway, like a merchandise giveaway. Um, we gave away a little Fey King plushie and then a dragon head mount, one of the miniature ones. And part of it, and then along with the like the interview process, it was just um Chandler just reached out and asked and was just like, hey, is like, we're just interested in buying some stuff. We'd love to give away some Evermore merch to help people learn more about you. So I was like, we'd love to, purchase that. And then the same thing with the interview or with their casting process and their audition process. Chandler just reached out and he was like, hey, we would be really interested in the audition process, and if possible we'd love to sit in on it and just give feedback so that people interested in Evermore and auditioning and working for Evermore would have just a little bit more insight on like how to prepare properly for your um, job openings. And they were just, I mean, I think for the audition process one there was definitely some of that where it was like, oh well, you guys have represented us well, we've had prior relationships, so yes, that's a request that we would grant. But oftentimes, not always, but most of the time it was Chandler reaching out and like asking if we could do something
Yeah.
for it. So yeah, it did
Well,
feel nice. It's like this is like the podcast was like the most Z level like popularity or celebrity status, because it would be kind of interesting on occasion where we would be talking to someone and then people were always really nice and then we step away and they're like, hi, are you guys the World Talkers? I recognized your voice. And I was like, yeah, we are. So um, so that was always really nice, and always loved interacting with both people and the cast members. um, and they tended to like us as well because we would a really big problem that we would see, and a lot of people have talked about, is the like parasocial relationships of Evermore. And so we, from the very beginning as well, again, we tried to make sure that like if we saw them outside of the parks, just like in the normal day to day, we would never like approach them, and try to just always be respectful in that regard. And so I think collectively that um, just helped in general. I don't know. Again, long tangents. I'm prone to long tangents, as everyone
no,
probably knows. But
this is what this is for. I
yeah,
love hearing what you have to share. And I mean, it is kind of a bummer that being respectful does set you apart from the average Evermore guest sometimes, but
yeah,
like it does make you guys probably more likable to all of the actors that were there at the time. They're like, "Oh,
yeah,
these guys are cool."
yeah.
Um,
I would like to say on a note like that way, I don't think most people do anything like if anyone considers that disrespectful or walking up, it's like I don't think anyone ever really intentionally does it. It's just the lack of it's weird. Again, parasocial relationships are weird. They work in like Instagram or Twitch streams or YouTube's because you're not likely to see them in person. And so responding, there's dedicated response channels like DMs and stuff like that. And so having that in person, I think, as well as you just get that like starstruck effect where you're really excited, kind of overrides that. So I oftentimes when we saw it, it's like we just don't we definitely felt that way. It was like we'd see an actor and we're like, we're at Taco Bell and it's it's one of the actors like, let's go. No, 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 we just need food. But and so I understand the impulse in that regard, just as a
Yeah,
small side note. But
definitely. And I think the in-person nature of it is a big part of it too. But also Evermore just as like a niche is so weird. It runs so deep because the whole appeal of it is that it is such an immersive place to go to. Like it really does capture your mind in a different way. Um, it would be nearly impossible to separate out the relationship building part of your brain and still have
yeah,
everything else so immersive when I don't know, relationships are so core to human beings and what we are. Like it would be if you did separate that out, how much can you actually really feel immersion anyway? So yeah,
yeah,
weird things happen to people's brains at Evermore, and
yeah.
so parasocial relationships are weird too. So it's the combo I think that hits so hard.
Yeah, I would agree. And going back, that's another thing that we wanted. It would happen in the inverse too. I was like people that just didn't grasp the concept when we would see them. They just see a person and they're expecting these canned responses. And so you just really got these two extremes of people that were like um so taken in by characters and like love them deeply, which is very easy to do because all the actors are usually are phenomenal at representing their characters. And then you get the opposite of people are like, what? People are in costume. You talk to them? Why would you talk to them? Like,
Yeah.
and so needing to explain to people, how to interact at Evermore in both directions. Either, hey, you need to give a little more, or maybe we need to dial it back, is something that we felt was an important thing to talk and discuss about. So,
Yeah. That never really got 100% better either. I think that there was always that contingent of people who came in and didn't really understand the appeal of
yeah,
like diving into a fantasy world. Um, there's a couple things that
yeah,
as you were talking, I was like logging in my brain. Oh, that
yeah,
would be interesting. You mentioned when you were talking about kind of collaborating with the park in some regard on the
mhm,
podcast that you did a giveaway. I
yeah.
think I think Giselle won one of those giveaways because even in 2022 when I was listening, it was like, and we're reading off the thing, and Giselle wins, and I was like, I know her. So
I did she? I was like, I.
she definitely did, but I wasn't sure if, like you would remember that from several years ago or
That's
not.
a good question. Let me, I was like, because on the giveaway, let me pull up our Instagram because we also put it there. She might have won one of them.
Yeah, I
No, I was
I
like,
didn't
you
just
excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I was like, it's quite possible. I was like, again, it's been years ago now, so I don't quite always recall everything, but
yeah, and I only went through because it was so long after I was
yeah.
just listening to the podcast. So everything that happened on the social media side, I completely missed out on because, um, yeah, that's more exciting to go through when it's like happening right now, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Um, this
Oh,
is
that's
good
right.
timing.
Actually, sorry, I didn't mean to. I was like, the first giveaway we actually did was for one of those original park maps that Josh Stedman was talking about. Um,
Yeah,
in
the
his
more like the tan kind of like it almost looks like it's on parchment kind, not the
yeah, and
like
then a and then a yeah that one, and then the a dragon egg and an Evermore like journal. We yeah. Oh, interesting. See, I don't even remember. That was a different giveaway.
Yeah, those are some dope things to give away too. Those
Yeah.
are really good ones. Oh goodness. What was the other thing that I was logging in my brain to ask after? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm
It's
so
all good.
sorry.
If you recall, I'm always happy to jump back. So,
Yeah, if I think of it, I'll try to go back again. But yeah, you guys were working on this podcast. A lot of people were really enjoying it. You're like even bumping into people in the park that recognized you from it. And then eventually you made the jump from like podcaster to like participant. Well, you were always a participant, but
yeah.
creator at Evermore.
Yeah.
Somebody who was making stuff for other people to enjoy from the park specifically.
Mhm.
Tell me more about how that happened.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we kind of were helping out in a lot of regards, even before we got, I mean, we were never officially like hired technically. It was like volunteer, is what we were categorized as. But we were always looking to and kind of just working with them in general. It's like, hey, we just want to do like an Instagram video on like how to do a quest, but we don't want to interrupt anyone and like we don't want to get in people's way. Can we like come in when the park is closed and do like a video and or stuff like that or uh um and so or like when they um yeah, it's like that tended to be like what we would do is like, hey, it's like we just is like we just want to help promote your things before they happen. Can we get, come in just for like an hour and do like be real like or B roll or something like that to help. And that kind of led to probably the real big thing before we actually transitioned into probably working for them is we actually pardon me, sorry. We actually got to officially announce the Evermore Realms card game um, before they had done some like leaks, like they had posted something in the Evermore community chat
Yeah.
for like 3 minutes and then deleted it, and then
The Realms logo.
yeah,
Yeah.
and 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 so we were obviously very interested in that and we're like, hey, I was like, was this intentional? This seems kind of like an intentional leak type thing. Is like we'd be interested in learning more. And then at the time, the leadership at the time was like, yeah, there is. Actually, if you'd love it to come in and um take a look at it, we'd love to show you. And we're inviting a few different people to come take a look. And so we got to see a bit of a pre-production of or a preprint of the realms cards and like what they were going to look like. And that's actually in our Instagram post as well. They had just like they were pretty rough. They were like stapled, printed paper stapled together. But we were already like, this is very cool. We like that a lot. Part of the we like it a lot. Part of the issue that we always saw with Evermore is there was not enough opportunities to take it home with you,
Yeah.
and so and we had always talked like we had talked about it in that in our podcast, and I think in that regard they were kind of on the same wavelength as well, and so we announced the realms like we did the first like announcement and then later that day they had like made their own post. We still weren't even sure. We thought it was going to be like a joint announcement and then so like we're like, hey, you said we like the what do they call them, the embargo is like released at 1 p.m. Like we just want to make sure we actually like I was like it's like 1:30. You guys haven't announced anything. Can we actually post something? Like, yeah, you guys are the ones announcing it. And we're like, oh, okay. It's like we didn't realize it was that big. We would have planned a little differently. Um, and so yeah, that was really exciting. And they just a lot of that was them appreciating how we even handled that, and they were like, yeah, that's great. And then obviously we always have opinions that we try to give from multiple perspectives of both like a customer and then an employee perspective. It's like, oh well, like what's the business reason for doing this? Like, yeah, it's like I perceive it this way as a customer, but is it a cost savings? Is it like just bandwidth? Like, why didn't things happen in a certain way? And so I think they appreciated our discussion around um, realms and just other things. And then, yeah, and then they basically just invited us to, they're like, hey, Chance at the time, Chance was just like, hey, we designed this game from ideation to creation. I think it was 4 weeks. They went from the idea to the actual print run, the official print run of the lower deck, which is the first one, or their like tester deck. And he's like, we just don't have time to make it. He's like, everyone's torn a million different ways. Are you guys interested in helping with this? And we're like, yes, we'd love to play test or do it. And then we got invited on to along with Bryn. Bryn was kind of our she or rather, sorry, Lieutenant Commander Kaliri. Um,
But
yeah, I know. It's like that's always always searching for people's real names versus character names and which one comes to mind. But she was put in charge of that after the original team, and she was a part of that original development team as well. And she was kind of advocating for us to get put on a team as well as like to continue making more, because if she hadn't, it probably just would have been one deck and that would have been it. I mean, that is all it ended up being, but for other reasons.
yeah. But even outside of like whether other decks were made and stuff, I feel like what y'all contributed to the gaming side and during that period of time helped take what existed already and allowed people to like engage with it more. Like it gave it a huge boost. I do remember like when digging through the past on the internet and doing research and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw about that post that got put up with Realms, and then they took it down again, and people were theorizing like, oh, it's probably just the name of the New Year's event, or like
Oh yeah.
an app or whatever. Um, that's exciting that you got to do that like playtest with the stapled paper. That was before the New Year's where they did the official launch even. Like when you showed up on New Year's, you knew about it already.
Yes, that's correct. When they had done the initial launch, that was when they actually had the real cards. We never saw the real cards until that launch. We got access to those at the same time, and that was one of the ones that they which is always understandable, that we were like, hey, can we see the real cards? I was like, we just want, he's like, we don't need one. We don't need to have them. I mean, if you wanted to give them to us, that'd be cool. But uh, that's always how it was. It's like, yeah, it's like, if we could get free stuff, great, but we're happy to pay or
Yeah.
not even pay. It's like, we just want, we want better pictures than your stapled together promo. Just be better at promoting your card game. So
That's that's awesome. Okay, so yeah, you were starting in on the realm side. Um, and it was about this time, vaguely, that COVID is going on, and they put up the main GoFundMe that was to try to save the park from COVID.
yeah,
If I'm getting that time frame correct.
yeah, that should be right around that same time. That's also part of like what. Ooh, there goes my light. That's also part of like what led to them going more in on the card game. It's like, oh well, how can we reach more people? Um, that's okay. I just got a fuzzy background.
It's
Um,
better than plain concrete, so
yeah,
still
that's okay.
the beautiful Evermore background.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was like, this is a picture that Chandler actually took. So,
oh no, it's not
yeah.
like one of their promotional things.
No, no, yeah, these are ours. I went through all of the pictures that we
Oh,
took,
wait, is
but
this the one? Your head's been in the middle the whole time, as
Yeah.
is this one with you guys in it, or oh no, it's just a picture.
No, we do have that. It's from that like shot. We have pictures of us in it and like us skipping and like we have
Yeah,
tons of pictures. We have hundreds and hundreds of
the one with you
photos.
guys in it. That's
So, but
cool.
yeah.
Um,
So
so yeah, this GoFundMe, it had 395 donations, 113 of them were anonymous. I don't know why I'm reading this. Sometimes I just look at stuff on the internet and I like gather information. I'm like, I'm just gonna spout this out.
yeah.
But it gained about $37,500. And the first thing that it said it would do is complete construction on the church.
Yeah.
Other stuff that happened in there that is more related to things that you would have worked on is that
Mhm.
they said that they were going to do an Evermore Realms expansion, and also, and I think this was probably at least somewhat of a surprise to people at the time, an Evermore module for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Um,
Yes, that was something that was also being worked on. We made it was like right before there was an one official like post made, and that was right before everybody got laid off. So
yeah. So the
um,
timing of that's pretty rough.
yeah, so I was like, we actually had, I mean, and we can get into these a little bit later, but this was what the post had. So I printed off a picture of this. So this is one of the
Yeah.
enemies that was going to be in it.
Yeah, that was
Um,
for the one that said that they were going to have a separate Kickstarter just for the D&D, and that was the enemy that was. What is that enemy? I don't know.
um,
And we can dive into whatever you want
yeah,
right now, if it's something that you can
I
talk.
can't, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember, because especially since I went to look back to see, I recall us in the post like mentioning it. It was like, hey, here's the campaign, here's one of the enemies.
Mhm.
This is a creation out of Dan's mind. It's called a trug. It's basically kind of like a mole man goblin equivalent. And then the art, by the way, this one was done by Kelton Vincent.
Hmm.
You could still find his art, which I told you this at the beginning, but for everybody else, I've got I brought a lot of show and tell for people, so we can dive into that in a minute. And I have a few more art pieces from him. He was hired on specifically to help with Realms and then the D&D module, because he sorry, distracted. My light's not charging. At least if I charge it, just because he there a lot of art was needed, and Megan is great, but she's one person and doing all of
Movie.
like other business art for everything else and in the
Yeah,
park. And so um he was fast, and his art is just gorgeous, and I'm really sad in a lot of ways that people won't get to see all of it. He does have quite a bit of it up on his I can't remember what it's called, but if you just Google Kelton Vincent, it's like Art Station is the website or something. It has a few like of the actual cards on there, the art that would have been on the cards for some of the characters. So
that's
yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah,
I've never looked at that at all. I'll have to check that out because
yeah,
I like these things as part of the Evermore universe like that. I mean, whether the book ever came out or not, Daniel came up with a new
yeah,
type of creature that is, I would still say, canonically part of like the Evermore universe.
yeah.
Where would where was this adventure set? Would that have been in like lore that there was something like that or mythos or?
So this was actually going to be. So this is actually kind of a part of a bigger conversation too. Is this was going to be set in Aurora is where it was going to take place. Was the
The one I
first.
didn't mention.
Yeah, no, you're
Classic.
good. So again, we announced the name of the campaign as well, like right before. It's called Wrath of the Silver Mother. Kind of has ties to the Frost Lords and stuff like that. Um, and so, um, but part of what was like really cool about working on both realms and the D&D stuff is all of that was the creative team had been talking about for a while before we got hired on and before people were talking about it. They're like, we have the whole world figured out, and we have a lot more developed than people know, which is really true. They had full maps for Mythos, Aurora, Lore, Pyra, and the different. Well, yeah, Pyra was the season or whatever, not necessarily a place, but
Yeah.
they had all the different realms and the naming and the landscapes and like Trevor and Mallory and just again a lot of the creative team. Like it was kind of crazy how much they actually had developed. And they kept telling people that, and you could find it out. Like we started finding out about a lot of it in park again before we were even hired because they're like if you Mallory's character Gudrun especially like if you asked her questions she's like I don't it's like if you ask the right questions like I'll tell you, it's just that you may not have the context to figure it out. And so part of that was learning a lot in Pyro was coming as like oh yeah, I was like well what about this, and you could kind of learn more that way about how deep the worlds go, which is also like something that I would weirdly I love logistics. Like logistics is just something that I'm so interested in, and it was for a lot of my professional life has been logistics, mostly in like warehouse retail management. But I one of my favorite weird things about theme parks is crowd dispersion and throughput on rides is something I'm always interested in, and so they um, we would always get into weird conversations with characters. It's like, okay, well, what's the farming situation like on Mythos? Like, you guys, it's like you guys, the fairies are normal sized here because in Mythos everything's bigger. It's like, oh, well, like, uh, uh, let's farm like carrots. You guys got giant carrots. Like, how do you? We could bring those and solve all the hunger problems here with like 3 carrots. So, um, getting into those types of discussions with a lot of characters and ended up like yielding weird insight into like expanded lore because they're like, yeah, yeah. So, um, and so that's kind of what I'm a little sad too about like what people don't end up getting to see. But there was like, yeah, I was like, it was just kind of overwhelming. And so Aurora was actually really thought out, the land of Aurora. And so we came up with some stuff, but the Trugs is one of the few things that was like, yeah, that Dan was able to put in and create um, for something that didn't already exist. So
Yeah. I'm kind of bummed out too that there's so much that they created that like people never got to have like in their hands and their heads at home.
yeah,
I think these D&D modules would have been a really good vehicle for sharing some of that experience
oh yeah,
because I I worked at Evermore just for like a couple of weeks, essentially so I could see the deep lore. Like
yeah,
I was like, I just want to like see these sheets that people have been talking about. And then just during the period of time where I worked there, because they did things differently after the layoff, which like maybe we should talk about.
yeah,
Um, it's there wasn't anything by that point that they were willing to share out to everybody. So it's
yeah.
like I basically there wasn't any extra knowledge that I didn't already have other than like the character, like the one page that you get that's like the synopsis of
Mhm.
the character. So I was bummed out about that. But yeah, if there would have been like D&D modules, I would have ate those. No, 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 no. Read the book
Yeah,
3 times, buy it immediately. So I think that could have been a really successful thing for them. It's
yeah,
unfortunate with the timing that it never happened. So
yeah.
what was the layoff like from your perspective? Did you have any indication that was going to happen, or was it just an absolute shock?
It was, I mean, as everyone's always talked about, Evermore was like always on the verge of going under. And so like when it happened, it just like wasn't it really wasn't like it's really disappointing because it's just like you're like I want to keep contributing, I want to keep helping. And especially for us is like is kind of funny I guess at the time. So Chandler had been hired on like in an official capacity and actually getting paid, and he was their PR guy and social media. And so for me, as like it just was. Uh, I mean, I guess everyone else was let go, so our leader was Bryn specifically, and it's like, okay, well, we can't, we don't even have like a line to whoever to talk to next to continue doing something like this. And what's really like so, what's the word? It's not regret. It's just like unfortunate circumstances. We had um for Realms specifically, for Evermore Realms, I um it it was it was done. Like it was completely done. Like box and manual and I mean we were still working on more stuff, but there was like a set that was supposed to come out and we had just been waiting to have a bank account attached to order the cards. And the whole time it's like, hey, is like, based on just like rough projections, I was like, we'll make a nice chunk of change. And especially if we, can make them available online for people to buy, as like it's an excellent, it'd be an excellent supplemental thing for COVID to help us go, whether it's, some money is better than no money, but um and so that's one of the same thing with the Kickstarter was ready to go. The module was probably about like halfway finished. It was like it definitely needed a lot of refinements, and part of my role in those was again I'm logistical, so I was looking at sourcing and more specifically trying to um, make the realms more affordable because the $100 tag on the first deck is a pretty untenable in terms of card games or board games.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I get why they price them that much. It's like gorgeous art is expensive, so that's kind of what it usually comes down to. But so yeah, that one's really sad that it didn't come out because I there's a lot that could have come from that. At least I think uh, that would have gone a long way. And then, so when we were all let go, I guess we kind of had an inkling just in terms of the fact that like higher ups start becoming a lot less responsive to like what's going on because emergencies are going on, and then just like everybody else, we were uh, shocked when the we all get laid off, and then the next thing we hear is they're suing Taylor Swift. It's like, oh, okay. Which, funnily enough, I think if we had had an online store, they actually might have had. This is just me speaking anecdotally. I'm not a lawyer in any sort of the word, but from what I understand of the lawsuit, because I always keep up on everything in relation to Evermore, um, it they might have actually had reason to have damages because a lot of it was stating genuine confusion that led to sales that they had to end up refunding, and it becomes a pretty unrealistic lawsuit when it's like, oh, they got confused that it's from Evermore. They bought a ticket to the park, showed up to the park, bought a ticket in the park, and then bought a shirt in the park, and then realized it's not Taylor Swift. That just is not like a reasonable timeline conclusion. I get lawsuits, or sometimes you throw spaghetti at a wall, and you also have to defend trademarks like legally because if you don't, then you lose them. And so there is more nuance there, but um, if we had had an online store for actual merchandise to get sold and then returned or refunded from genuine confusion, that could have actually helped. But um,
It at
that,
least is a more realistic story to
yeah,
a lawsuit.
yeah, exactly. So, but it was just melancholy, a lot of melancholy. There'd been lots of signs leading up to that, like something that's always like I try to think about because especially in the time you have a lot, even when we were just fans, you don't even with our like extended, access or people willing to talk to us, you still have these like rose colored um glasses, or you don't see the whole picture, and you're just like, well, maybe there's some justification for it, and it's just because they don't have any money, they can't support anything. And so that layoff for me was just especially eye-opening, just like it, whether intentional or unintentional, it's just that it just became very clear. It's like Evermore doesn't really have the capability or infrastructure or ability to support itself. And that's kind of when I mean that's pretty much when I stopped going. I went a couple more times, mostly when there was the rumors of like this is the last day. And I'm like, okay, I'll go check it out. Or they made it free, like free to enter. And I was like, yeah, I'll swing by, we're in the area.
Yeah,
And so it's still always great to go see it. And I always appreciated the creative teams that continued to try and give it love and magic, which it still was there to a large extent as well. But um, the other indicator for me into it is like it had as many creative teams as years it was open. So it
yeah.
just
The
it's
revolving door of
yeah,
leadership going through.
yeah. And so that was kind of when it hit me with enough reality to to stop letting myself get heartbroken.
Yeah. I I relate to all of that a lot. Like I've been there
Yeah.
with the rose-colored glasses and eventually just kind of coming to terms and everything. I do remember seeing that you were there on that Halloween, which like in my opinion is really like the night that the Evermore storyline like did end. Like
Hmm.
like they had Aurora, but it was a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Were there other times where they were like, "Oh, we're gonna close this time"? Like, were there other fake outs between that layoff and the final closure?
I don't know about that. I feel like
Okay.
there was some leading up into that. There was like some nights that, well, I'm always bad with timelines. I feel like I'm more event based. There were times when the park was operating that they didn't have the money to operate that day. But basically a world walker had paid for a private event and was basically funding um, operations for the characters for those days. So
Yeah. I'm nodding politely as if I've ever heard that in my
yeah,
entire life. In fact, I,
yeah,
I don't think I knew that. There was times where just like a civilian, just a random person kind
yeah,
of like bankrolled everyone's ability to have a good time that day.
yeah. I was like, it was. I mean, it was within the same time frame. I think it was like 2 weeks or something, 2 or 3 weeks that it
Ooh.
was that pretty much, as far as I'm aware. And again, it's hearsay, um, and um, I wasn't really dialed into that, and so that was my understanding. Like that's what I had been told. And so, but that was always kind of happening because even before we worked for them, they have like volunteer days, and we'd go help, or like the master classes, where it's
The
just like, yeah,
masterclass.
the weeding master classes where we paid like $1, but then they used it to like buy everybody food for helping and stuff like that. So they
Yeah.
were always just trying to keep afloat. And I just think there's so much. That's what always hurts me the most, like when I think about it, is there's just much goodwill and like willingness from people to jump in and help and go above and beyond. And so that is just part of a place that everyone cared about and loved so much to keep the magic going. And I think out of everything, that's what I really miss is it was this third place where um just everybody cared. Like they cared to get to know people, they cared to have fun, they cared to keep it going and help other people feel the magic. So
Yeah, definitely. Um, I'm biased. I'm stuck in my head because like this time 24 hours ago, I was at Beyond the Gates, and I don't want to. I'm not involved with them, so I don't want to
yeah.
do like ad spots or anything. But
Oh yeah.
there's still some of that energy there, which is really cool because there
Yeah.
is. I think that that's one of the awesome parts about Evermore is that there was a community of passionate, caring people, um, and that was all the stuff that they were able to accomplish was always so cool. Um, and I get one thing I can say without reservation is that there are still passionate and caring people in the world,
Oh yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
wherever they are. Um, and I'm grateful for that still. I don't know what that's obviously I'm not like correcting anything you said because you're essentially saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, you were kind of when this layoff happened, uh, it hit somewhat hard, and you stopped going on a regular basis at that point. But you were still somewhat involved, like you mentioned, in just like keeping tabs on Evermore and being aware of things that were happening.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the news that has broken about Evermore in the time I've been involved in the community still has come from you, even in the days after.
Oh, okay.
In terms of like the examples I'm thinking of are like you posted the Jenny Nicholson video for me to watch,
Oh yeah.
and just like when the park was closing, you were one of the main people posting on like Reddit and stuff to keep people
Yeah.
apprised of like goings on there. Um, what is it do you think that made you continue to be interested at least on like keeping tabs on things after you weren't involved as intimately?
I just it was just such a big part of my life. And regardless of where it ended up, it's just such a time of my life. I was like I was with friends. I really didn't have much in the way of like cares or worries. And like additionally, when it was during COVID, I was fortunate enough because at the time they didn't know whether, asthma was a I have asthma. I'm also allergic to anything with fur, feathers, dust, trees, bushes, and grass. So pretty much everything. Uh, and so, fortunately for my job at the time, because of that, they're like, "Hey, you can take FMLA." Will is like for the so I had 2 months where I didn't have a job, but I was okay. I was doing, they were still paying me, and then I I just was so drilled in to Evermore. And so, I mean, that was just a capstone on like everything of like again, it goes back to that first day that I walked in because I can't like I mean, I feel like I can't go outside and do as much as I want to without feeling like heavy impacts. It was such an accessible place. And then additionally at the time, and I mentioned this in the podcast, I'm very introverted still, but back then too, I wasn't very good at talking to people. Um, I mean, even a lot of how I interacted with the characters was just I would just send letters through the mailing system, and it provided a good and healthy and well for me personally healthy and safe space to like you know practice being a person in society so, or even engage with like difficult topics. And that was something with my friend groups as well is delving to the root of problems and taking part in like Socratic dialogues and Evermore's plot lines would always get dark and dangerous because it's fantasy and it's thrill and it's meant to be that way to build stakes and um, I don't know, just all of that together. It's like it's just so hard to put aside the relationships and the experiences that we had um, spent with the actors and other world walkers, as well as the opportunity to be creative and have an outlet like that. And so, very much still a hyperfixation. I would love for something to come back like that. I know there's movement over there. I don't know whatever it is, but
Yeah. Yeah, you
yeah,
mentioned in the Discord lately that you've like even seen the cars that are kind of
yeah,
in the
yeah,
prior Evermore lot or whatever.
yeah. I was like, I was, I'd stay caught up on the hatch the egg stuff, and um, I don't know. It's just again, it's such a magical time, and it is such a unique like capsule. It's not a theme park. It's not a walkthrough experience. It's so hard to define, and that just like makes it made it so interesting. And it was done to a scale. Like there's definitely other like LARPing experiences or other stuff that's been out there like that, but it was done in a theme and to a scale that I personally resonated with a lot and will forever miss deeply. So um, I'm also just a collector, whether that be the Evermore merchandise or memories of Evermore. And so I talked to Jenny Nicholson a little bit about it, and so that was part of the slanted shanty on fire in her video is from me. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's awesome. I'm glad
yeah,
that you did that because I've even mentioned in other of these conversations, like I can't find that freaking slanted shanty video.
it's it's bad. So I had taken it on an older phone, and then I no longer had that phone, and I uploaded it to Google, but that was before they transitioned to like the
Oh yeah,
capped
yeah.
storage space. And so all my old videos got compressed into oblivion, and so the video's really bad.
It exists. If
Yeah,
you try to Google like crooked, sorry, slanting shanty fire, like nothing appears.
yeah.
Like for
So
my searches, it hasn't, but
yeah,
that's
yeah,
sick.
yeah, probably not. It wouldn't really be anywhere else. So
But yeah, you mentioned you like collecting and like showing stuff. What what do you got? It's
all
we
right.
can once again rely on your fount of knowledge when it comes to Evermore to
I've definitely got some fun stuff. Again, I'm happy to go however long you want. So it'll probably bring up some questions, but let me swap real quick to my little setup here. Get
Oh
some.
wow. We got the top down tech review look at things.
I work for a tech company now, and part of my job is a little bit of streaming. The lighting's not great because my light died, new one, but um, yeah, I'm happy to. I got a lot of show and tell, so feel free to stop me and ask any sort of questions. I'll try and reflect them better in the light, and then if my light charges, hopefully you'll get a slightly better lighting here. But something to always start with, I kind of go chronological wise, is these are some of the tarot cards that the you could get during original. Part of what I wanted to do, even when I was a world walker, is like someone needs to be storing this for historical reasons. And so Jenny Nicholson claims she has the largest collection, and I'll let her keep on believing that if she'd like.
But
So
maybe respectfully disagree.
no, it's like she's honestly probably not too far away. I just have a few
Yeah.
more niche items that anyone else is unlikely to have. So um, which yeah, I was like these ones. So these ones, some of these, if I remember correctly, I never got to go to it, but there was the Pumpkin Fest, and that's where these ones came from originally. Ken had these made.
Oh,
At
so
least
these
it,
had been around for several years by the time that.
yeah, at least at one of them. That's what I always heard. I don't know if it was like specifically this because this is Evermore branded, but I know that like these designs, I'm pretty certain. I mean, if someone corrects me, that's totally fine. This is just what I recall
Yeah.
hearing way back when.
And
And
then
then
Century up top. That wasn't even called Tip Top yet. It was.
no, no, yeah, I was like, this was the well, they were. I mean, it was Tip Top at the time, I think, but they were trying to make them the
These are
idea I believe was
categories instead of individuals or whatever.
yeah, because the Century is like an actual tarot card, I believe. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, but I'm not totally certain about that. That's I'm not as much into tarot. And then they did have these ones. So um so these ones right here. So these were the Fan X ones that you could get from like going on quests. I can't remember if this was the first year or the year after.
Hmm.
But yeah, you could get these ones, and these ones were named Killian, Drock, and Puka. And then this one was from the Freedom Fest um in somewhere. I don't remember. At Provo. I don't remember this one. I remember going, but I don't really remember what we did when we were there. So,
Yeah.
um, and then let's see. Well, oh, or yeah, these were the eggs. So these are the eggs that I actually kind of got. Some of these bought some extra ones. These are always fun. They always had fun stuff to do.
Yeah. The eggs I remember seeing in my period of time, the only time that they showed up is Troy Larson was still making a small amount of them when he had the Unworldly exhibit up in
Oh, okay.
you could buy them there and they were from like the same type of mold and everything, but
Oh, that's very cool.
yeah.
I miss them. I really miss the creative studio. They made such like wonderful stuff. That's one of the things that we got to do that we never got to uh I mean, we weren't allowed to review it at the time, but they let us come in and we took a tour of their workshop and saw like tons of models
Oh, that's
and
so cool to be able to do that. I'm jealous.
yeah, I was like
They were
it
they were like
was
long gone by the time I got interested.
oh yeah. They weren't around for I think they're only around until like 2019 if I remember
Yeah, they didn't
correctly.
even make it to the big layoff that we talked about. They were because they were auctioning off their stuff before that online. I was able to see.
Yes.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
a question that might completely derail everything? But
Yeah, go for it.
I never have actually gotten an answer to this. Where was it? I know it's
The
like a
oh
couple
the
blocks away, but
where was the
the
warehouse or
creative
the
studio in as opposed to like the
um
actual park itself.
let me look real quick. I um let me see. Gotta go to maps. It really wasn't that far. It was like a 5 minute drive. I'm just gonna try and um it was kind of where was it?
The fun for
Um
me will just be like going to that location, even if it's like
yeah,
I don't know, like an Arby's now or whatever. I'll be like, this is where the creative studio
yeah.
used to be.
It was on oh man, what was it on? It was on State Street or no, it was on what's the other one? Where's the Harley Davidson? It is that road. What's that called?
Like right when you get off of I-15 or whatever.
Yeah, it was like it was kind of by the Walmart that's not far from Evermore. I can probably find the exact address later and send it to you, but
Okay. Yeah, I might do that instead of like torturing you right now in the
no,
moment.
you're good. I
I've
just
always
couldn't
been curious about that.
yeah, it was just a warehouse. I was like nothing like it really yeah. I was like yeah. I was like if you find any auction videos, I was like it would show it. It's by a railroad like company too, so I just gotta take a minute and look at the map, but I don't necessarily want to bore everybody with that right now.
Sweet. Sorry
But
about that.
no, no,
I
you're
knew
good.
it had potential to derail.
Yeah, yeah. Let me make a note of that so I can send it to you. Um, it is Okay, I got that marked down. But there, man, that was like that right there was when they closed that down. That was probably one of the saddest like closures because we went to help with that too, just as like fans or whatever.
Mhm.
And man, they just threw so much stuff away. Like
No,
I
what
know.
history.
Yeah, one of the big ones that was like super brutal is the the mold for the statue of Saint Michael. So this is what I understood as far as the as that went is that the statue that was in the park was not even supposed to be the final one. It was just the cast or something for the actual. It's supposed to be like a bronze statue,
Oh, okay. But they never
and
actually completed
yeah,
the real one, so they just put something up there.
yeah. So they just put that one out there. I mean, it was I don't know what it was made out of, but the actual like mold in order to recreate it was thrown in the garbage. I'm pretty sure. So
Woof. At
yeah, I
least
know.
a clean one now, because the sword done falled off.
Yeah, I was like that. It broke very, very fast. Like again in the other videos, like I think it ran. I saw it working like once,
Yeah.
and then
And
it
you were there
never.
day one, so pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah. Huh.
So, cool. All right, let me get into some more of maybe some of the funner stuff here. This, if you have ever seen these, this is and a lot of pretty much all of this was some of these more hard to get items were gifted to me.
Uh-huh.
Um, so like this one was this is the original concept for what the ticket would be like going into the park.
And
So
what's the
yeah,
circle for? Is that where they would mark that you've entered, or how does
yeah, it
I've
would
never
just
seen it.
basically be like a stamp or a QR code or like tell you the date. So then you'd have like an actual kind of like ticket basically,
Okay.
which I really wish they had gone with these because the receipts were very practical, which is,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the only physical thing you really got from that
right. In a
transaction.
lot of ways, Evermore was not practical. And like with the buildings and the actual authentic artifacts, it's just brutal.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, the tickets, just lack of, funds or money.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
The things that they had versus what they didn't have is interesting. Because people love to take, like, I think it is a common thing to have a box or like a scrapbook of ticket stubs.
oh, yeah,
It's a very common souvenir just to have the ticket stub. And yeah, instead we got millions of dollars on like fiber optic cables that
right.
got used or something.
Which is like, it's fair. It's like they're trying to future proof for stuff, which is really, is smart in a lot of ways. But
Yeah.
I just don't think they ended up getting the investments that they were looking for. We were talking about realms and part of why they got us. I think that, or why they kind of invited us. This right here, let me.
Oh, wow.
So this is one of three, and it was handcrafted by Warbear
Yeah.
to release with realms. I,
So
yes,
was this available for sale on that New Year's Eve that they launched it, or where did this come from?
yes. So this was part of the announcement. They announced realms, and then it would be available for sale for $100, and then they also announced that there would be three of these.
Oh my gosh.
And
And if the
I
cards were $100, what are your fingers touching right now monetarily?
I don't actually remember. That's a good question. I I
Your memory blocked it out to protect you.
I really did.
Probably.
If yeah, I was like, I think it was 250,
Oh, well,
which
that's better than I thought it would be, but
yes,
still obviously a pretty penny, especially for like
yeah,
the life that you were in.
yes, exactly. But like at the time, I just wasn't. I wouldn't buy anything else. We already kind of knew these were coming, so I had been saving up. I
Yeah.
mean, I bought three decks. Uh, well, I bought more decks actually. I spent so much money that night.
Yeah.
Um, and then I bought this. I think this came with it was like it was something it was expensive, but this came with a deck, so it was in here, and then I
Okay.
just have filler in there right now. But um, they only made three of them, and And because I knew there was only three of them, I'm like this already. I waited in front of Evermore's gates for about 5 hours before they opened.
I remember hearing about that in the podcast. Just
Yeah.
just imagining you like sitting on the concrete before anyone else has arrived to the.
Yeah. I brought a folding chair so that I could sit there, and Warbear had to do a double take in the parking lot. He later showed me this after. This was like way later. He's like, "Yeah, this is the picture I took of you to send to the team." Like, it's like there's people are this excited about it. So it came with this. It was gorgeous. There was three different versions. I bought one, and then this yeah, it was like my again Dan and Chandler had showed up and they bought the other ones. So we did kind of hog that. Apologies now, way in the future to everybody, but we were heavily motivated. So
Yeah,
um, we're
you guys
obsessed.
having a YouTube channel that was solely dedicated to Evermore Realms to an extent. So
Yes, that was we were definitely trying to do that. That was when we started collaborating a lot more with World Walker Weekly and trying to team up. So this is part of it didn't come with a play mat, but it came with this. So this was
oh yeah.
so this is part of the map of like stuff that you would see um in like this is one of the maps that we were going to be using for the D&D module and like the different tribes and stuff. So and you could buy these in park. I think eventually it came with some dice that he made, some steel dice, and then
Those are like a Warbear original.
I know I was like I freaking love them. I was like for some
Cool.
token counters. And then while I'm in realms, let's I got the again gifts after the fact, well not after the fact but later on. They here we go.
Okay, so this is like when they were testing different mechanics and stuff.
Yeah, so these are like their actual, so these are what we took pictures of,
Gotcha, yeah, yeah.
and then this is actually one of the test decks that they gave. So like and a lot of these changed from what I understood. They had a lot of variations of these. And I did see the original ones that Chance and them wrote on. It was just a deck of playing cards. He had just like written people's names and stuff on playing cards. But yeah, they had all of that. And then these were
The Weaver card on the top.
I know, yeah. It was like all the classics. That's the hardest part, I think, especially for us, was like, and I didn't have much say in that. Like when we were working on our decks, I can't say who, but choosing characters is like really difficult and like matching like abilities and stuff like that. A
Mhm.
lot of what I was focused on was language consistency. So in this set, especially, or let me grab these. See, this is why I bought a bunch. I loved the shadow text, the vampiric. So this is my play deck, which is written in vampiric. This is my actor deck, or sorry, this middle one is my actor deck, which is signed by the actors themselves, cards, and then these are signed by the actual citizens.
Yeah. I remember this is another thing from your podcast. You had learned vampiric to the extent that you could just read the dang thing. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't like looking back and forth to a reference key or anything. It was like, oh, I know what that says.
it did take a lot of that to start with, but it's a one for one substitution. So like, and there's no like capitalization uh or lowercase. So it's pretty easy. But that I did love that type of stuff because I um part of what they want us to eventually start working on as well is helping with the gamification of Evermore and like rule sets and boundaries and specifically the magic circle, the buy-in moment basically.
The magic circle, what do you mean by that?
So there's a textbook if you want to learn. Again, my hyper fixations, um, and this comes just from theme parks in general. There's a book. It's called The Rules of Play, It's generally used as like game design 101. Great textbook to read. Um, and the Magic Circle specifically in regards to like board games or video games is the moment that you create a magic circle where the player buys in basically.
Okay. It's like that aha moment of,
Yeah.
oh, I understand the appeal of this now. This is an exciting
Yes.
thing.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So
And
there's yeah.
while we're talking about terminology, I'm gonna go back to the last question that I had
Yeah.
that I skipped over because I just didn't want to seem dumb for asking.
Oh no, you're good.
Talked about you were really involved in like looking at the terminology for the card. Are you talking about like the key words that appear in card games sometimes that are like capitalized letters with a specific meaning, or did you mean something else by that?
Yes, that's exactly what I was meaning. So let me see if I can find them here. This is the original deck. They actually had two print runs of these, so I ended up buying more of these because the original print run had peeling issues, which happened like even before you opened them.
Hmm.
um, so we have, let me see. I can talk about the mechanics that we were developing because, as far as I'm aware, those are still owned by Chance.
Yeah.
I just can't share
From when I talked
ever.
to him, mo
Yeah.
most of Realm stuff is still.
Yeah.
Was it going to be new mechanics, like different mechanics from what had previously been seen in the game?
Yeah, there was definitely going to be new mechanics. We were trying to what's it called? We were trying to simplify. So we there was new mechanics added, but nothing that would seem like out of the ordinary.
Hmm.
So it was mostly still dealing with what you dealt with here, but there was a bit of rearranging on the cards and like the symbols and stuff,
Hmm.
to try and make stuff consistent. We were also working on another version of this, just to re-release to be more correct and matching because the new ones were going to look pretty. They probably weren't going to look this pretty.
Hmm.
Specifically, the backing of this was really expensive to print
Yeah.
because it's like I don't really hard to get on video, but it's so glittery and it's so pretty, but it's really expensive to print.
Hmm.
I can't quite find it, but one of the things here is like we have damage or attack or DMG. Sometimes they're all lowercase, sometimes they're, again, you can't really quite see, but that's okay. I think it's just my camera and my lighting here, but really not that big. One of the big ones is getting hearts. There was a lot of them were like this one is a sister's love, add to shield, heart, and a sword. Where
Hmm.
some other times it would say gain to shield, heart, and sword, and
Gotcha.
it was really important because the insanity of these cards is you have like an eighth of the card to put a single ability, and it was really important to design to keep it like narrative basically. So we didn't want to shorten it too much because it would kind of ruin the feel, but then it makes it really hard.
Mhm.
It makes it really hard to develop abilities that fit just here, that broadcast clearly, and concisely basically. So
And as you're about to pick up that Suds
yeah.
card,
Oh yeah.
that was another thing that I mentioned, like talking about like things that I learned because you were tuned into the Evermore space. You posted the story about Suds driving, well, not Suds, but the
Yeah.
Suds driving the wrong way on I-15, like getting a DUI and everything.
Yeah. That was a story that I came across in the news, and I was like, I don't necessarily know if people really care or care to see. And I think everything was okay. I hope he was okay.
Hmm.
I just like to post, like if I find out stuff, I like to keep people informed,
Yeah,
more
I
so just as
appreciate it.
reporting, not necessarily as a. So if there's any ill will there, I apologize to
Yeah,
anybody there, or if anyone thought that was in poor taste. I just, when stuff is like in the news, I consider it public knowledge and stuff like that. But
yeah, for sure. I thought it was an interesting thing to add to Evermore history or lore.
Oh yeah.
Or like, um, yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
That also derailed things a little bit.
That's okay. It's like it's interesting. Like it almost feels like a compulsion, if I'm being
Mhm.
honest. Like
Yeah, I feel similarly sometimes. I mean, the park has been closed for,
yeah,
I still just crave opportunities to talk about it. So,
right. Here's something else. Like I was saying, I did learn how to read the vampiric because it was really fun, and specifically the shadow text stories
oh yeah.
are it is probably one of my most favorite storylines
Hmm.
because it's so nuanced. So this is
Oh, you have it. Okay.
I do, yes. They
Wait, these
sold
are
these in
different
park
than.
very briefly.
Yeah, I don't
Um
think I have these. I have some pages of this type of stuff, but I've not. Okay. It's a good thing I'm recording this because I'll take a screenshot later.
I can send you the link. I have some better scans for you. So
Sweet. Yeah, that'd
um
be dope. Anything you're willing to provide is
yeah, I
go right in the library.
oh yeah. I actually think it's already out there. I shared it to the Evermore community page once with like
Mm.
the full translation of everything.
Yeah.
And just gorgeous. Like I just love this so much. And as far as I'm aware, not as far as I'm aware, this was Megan, um,
Yeah.
the designing these, and they're just. I don't think she colored them in, if I recall, but I just love the story because it's just two perspectives. So you have the perspectives from
These
these
I have the
guys,
original of these
these
four
ones you do.
pages. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Oh, gotcha.
but yeah, those okay. Yeah.
So
As you were about to say, telling like kind of the story about this.
oh yeah, it's like it's just again one of my favorites is like the vampires just want to live, peacefully, but they do have to drink blood to live. And these people are like, you're killing people, and a lot of what it is these guys uh uh break in down there and kind of kill them all, and then she ends up killing her brother because he's unwilling to see kind of that view basically. So, and what was fun is these weapons were in park before this story came out, and so um that's what I really I don't actually quite remember their name. I think this is Thirst Seeker and
Yeah, I could
uh
pretty quickly, but
uh
I keep wanting to say Dawn.
yeah.
Count me down from 10.
You're good. Um, yeah, or yeah, this is Thirst Seeker. Hmm, what is that? That is
Red
E
River.
the Ripper
The
or
rest.
Render. Rest Giver. Thank you.
Um, yeah, those they were props that actually existed in park, and I believe now they are in the possession of Taylor Hyde, who was the he was the head of security upon the park's closure.
Oh yeah.
He got
That's
them before that.
no,
It
no, no. Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah,
on the way out, but
yeah. I was like, I got to hold. I got to hold um Rest Giver when Warbear was making it, and it's a monstrosity. It's so heavy. Um, let's see what else. I can hit some things a little quick here. I don't want to bore people with my blank screen.
no, well, first off, nobody who watches these is going to be for, and if they are, they can leave. You're not doing anything against anyone's consent.
That's fair, I guess. So here's these. I got some posters. These are
Hey.
like the enter the story ones. This is yeah. What's his name? Drock
Yeah,
running around.
I've heard of this one, but I don't think I've ever actually like seen the real thing.
Yeah. I was like um I bought this one as well, I think, if I remember correct, because they would oftentimes like put them in the shop after like a season or something.
Hmm.
Um, and then ugh, here's this one. This one always cracks me up. So
Limited
this is one of
edition
the
print
limited
of
edition.
3,000.
Th- from what I heard, they just kept printing these.
There is no actual limited
Like,
edition print.
yeah, which I can very much believe because one of the times they we went into the studio, there was like just boxes on boxes of them, and I paid a lot of money for this one, and by the time Evermore closed, literally the last day that they closed, they still had these in the shop, and they
Yeah.
were selling them for like $3. So that's just I don't know if that was ever intentional or I doubt it
Yeah.
was, but they just kept getting printed.
That's interesting because usually stuff like that has like a number on it. Like you can,
Yeah.
I've got number 437 or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's another one that I don't think I ever got. It had I think it had the puka on it. And those ones actually were limited.
hmm,
This is another thing that I think that Evermore did really well in terms of gameplay and like the magic circle.
yeah.
I don't know how many did you see these? You saw all
Yeah,
these?
I've seen a couple of these. I can even tell just from like the thickness of the stack you just placed. I have not seen all of these.
I'll
But
go
yeah,
through
this
them
is a
quickly and
another thing that Megan created that
yeah,
like a lot of this in-universe stuff that really added so much to the I don't know, the
well,
like, depth of atmosphere.
these were so helpful just because like it gave you story because that again that's what was so unique is the story progressed every single day, which
Hmm.
is really unique, horrible for operational reasons, but like this helps like people stay caught up, because then you're only ever like a day or two behind if you have like the general synopsis of stuff. So, which I think is a really good idea because they Evermore definitely did, and I've saved most of them. They had the like scavenger hunts, and you just get people that, and I have some extras of these, not necessarily all of them, but I can give those to you. This is, yeah, Dark Bloods, and because the scavenger hunts, what was that? People would always run up to actors. I feel like they'll all say this and you'd be like, quest.
Quest?
And,
Yes.
and seeing people do that would drive me nuts too. You're just like, no. Oh, patches. We talk about patches. Here's the patches.
Oh yeah, for the different types of guilds that they had.
Which this is like part of some of the merch that I thought was really good too, because you're like, yeah, you get to represent your guild and add it to your costume. And I often felt like small stuff like this went a really long way to help add to the experience. So,
Yeah, being able to like affiliate yourself with a group too is really important for people like considering it to be part of their identity. I think about Hogwarts houses.
oh yeah,
When people talk about like, oh, I'm in this house. That
yep.
like that actually makes them like as like weird as it may seem, that makes them care more about that fictional universe because they have a place in it at least
There's
in a way.
yeah, there's like it just becomes like sports teamy.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
have someone to root for, kind of like a baked in reason. This is the Darkest Night. Um,
The famous night where people were running through the park screaming that they're coming and
I simultaneously one of the coolest nights, and the minute it started happening, me going, oh no, oh no, this is not good
like
operationally.
so yeah, because you always have an operational mindset, you were like, this could be like really problematic,
Yeah, I
even
was
in the
like,
moment.
exactly, and specifically because I love when I was talking about crowd dispersal mechanics.
Hmm.
I was very aware of crowd crush and like
Yeah.
um, the factors that lead to that, and panic is number one, and like the amount of force it can generate is like truly astonishing. People crowds have collapsed buildings just by like pushing on them.
Oh
So
man.
that's, yeah, it's like that was like, again, story wise, I see why it fit, but
Yeah, kind
uh
of a scary thing to happen.
yeah.
The
So
last page right there is the introduction of Evermore Realms on
which,
the
oh, this one, oh
yeah,
yeah, you're right, right there.
towards your right hand there.
Oh, were they selling these for $40?
After you got yours for 100 multiple times, they were
I
like,
yeah,
we're gonna drop the price immediately.
I mean, again, they were so expensive.
Yeah.
Like uh really gorgeous cards, but you know,
Yeah.
um
They do look so cool. They did still have some around when I
yeah.
was at Park. Like I could have purchased them if I wanted to, but I am you said you like collecting things. I'm like the opposite of
Oh,
unless it's digital, get it out of my house.
I really should be that way, but I just have such for things that I have like really big nostalgia for, and this
Mhm.
definitely already generated that, that nostalgia.
Yeah. I feel
Um
like I miss out on a lot. I don't think that you're on the wrong side of this at all.
I mean, it takes up a lot of space. I know I have another box that I wasn't able to find because I have those dragon bust heads that were the replicas of the ones in the tavern, and then the one that they sold at the
Oh,
monster
just like
convention.
scaled down, like smaller.
Yeah, they had to make smaller ones in building it, and so they had two different sizes. They had one that was probably like I don't know, that big, and then they had one that was like a decent sized like bust, like
Yeah.
6 to 12 inches, I think was what it was. So
Nice.
yeah, um,
And I saw, yeah, I mean, like 2 pages ago, they took a picture that one of the World Walkers had taken for when there was the Wolves of Winter were recruiting everybody.
oh yeah,
Like video clips of that event from different YouTube channels.
that one was fun. It took, oh my word, forever, that ceremony.
For this is triple in number, it must have.
Yeah, very cool. Actors did a great job. We talked to them afterwards, and they were just like, "Yeah, we had to give everybody a new name," and like we were panicking every time someone walked up because we're like, it's like I don't know. I was like, I'm on like name 40. So, so there's these. I don't even think I have them all. I think I'm close, but I might be missing one or two of these
This
gazettes.
this is I had no idea how many there were. Like I'm blown away right now with all the ones I've never actually seen any of this.
There was definitely a lot. Oh, speaking of, this is, I know in some of your other videos too, um, uh, talking about fake gold.
Yeah.
A lot of people were making fake gold, like just a ton of people. And
Okay.
so they literally built it into the plot point. And so that's why Sykes got arrested, is because he needed to pay his debt. The city needed to pay its debt, and then they paid their debt, and it was all fraudulent gold. So he got arrested.
Yeah, for making fake gold. That's
Yeah.
fun for them to lean into that a little bit.
Yeah, which is like, again, there was always these different like methodologies of each of the creative teams, and I truly believe that any of them could have worked. They would have like end of season changes where the story would progress. They had the epics, where it would do weekly, and then they had more fixated, or not more fixed, more linear stories and stuff like that. No one ever, I felt, got the support, that would have been needed to make it succeed. I don't know. That's just my feelings on that. I spent a lot, like probably a lot of people, thinking about, how could it work? How could it survive?
Yeah.
And and it really is hard. I've mentioned this before to to a lot of people, and we kind of talked about it already, that magic circle buy-in, and more importantly, crowd flow dynamics. I have major beef with how Evermore is laid out.
Yeah. Well, they never intended for it to be more than like a haunt or a walkthrough type of thing.
Yes. And that became so apparent. So like even when you wanted to do better stuff, the road, the infrastructure just couldn't handle it.
Mhm.
So
It was built for like one direction at a time.
yes, yes. So it's like it was very difficult to pass people. Like, so to make it, this is Griebling.
Yeah. In
This
Aurora.
in Aurora. This is one of the art pieces that you can find on Kelton Vincent Art. He has a few more of these. I did not print them all today, but this was going to be one of the character arts in the deck releasing. So this next one is my all-time favorite picture, and especially by Kelton. Please go look this one up because I just printed this on paper, and it's much more nuanced, much more beautiful. this is the next card we were going to get. This is Ildrax.
Oh, wow. And so that's like a frost dragon.
Yes, so this is based on one of the puppets that the dragon trainers would that you could like interact with back in the original before they kind of got destroyed and needed to be repaired. So you had what was eight? I think it was Aiden or what
Yeah,
was it?
those are
Oh,
ringing all kinds of bells. But
Aelin, and
yeah, I never met them at the
yeah,
park, but
those puppets were incredible. I loved those so much, and it was so sad that they like just wore down over time. It's oh my gosh, this is just like this cozy feeling of like him taking a nap on the Crooked Lantern Taverns.
mhm.
Like,
The
oh,
warm
it's
glow
the
coming
best.
from inside.
His art was just so he's such a talented artist. Like I just am genuinely so sad that there was not more seen from him
Yeah,
in this realm. So, but yeah, go and yeah, I think you can download these off his website. It looks so much prettier, like when it's not on my crappy printer.
that's so cool. Yeah, I will definitely check that out.
What else? Let me think. Let me throw in something else. Speaking of quests, actually, so here's this. So this is what. Did you ever hear of the Ever level quests?
Um, yes. So that was like an experimental thing, right? Where they were starting to, well, no, you tell me.
No, no, yeah, you're good. I was like, you've got it. This is exactly oh my gosh, I've just blanked on his name as I do it because I keep thinking of his character. You just had an interview with him about the sword that he dug up
Oh
at
yeah,
Evermore.
yeah. So Peter Johnson's his real
Peter, thank you.
name.
Yes, thank you, thank you. It's like I always forget because he ended up working for them later.
Yes.
Um, so that's part of how he got his sword as well, was part of one of those ever level quests.
So you got
Um,
through a different one of them. They had like a series of different ever level quests.
Yes, that's correct. So they did a few of them, and our group of people. So Giselle, she's actually still really mad about this to this day. She's the one who discovered this ever level quest first, and like
Uh-huh.
we discovered, and then we started working on it as a group. We were trying to beat other people to the end of it, and
Yeah.
so we finished it the day she wasn't there. So she was
Just to make sure that
furious.
you could get like to it first and not.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is ours. She did get something out of there, but maybe not the thing that she wanted the most to select. We was me, Chandler, Dan, Wyatt. Well, actually, I don't know if Wyatt was there that day, and then Kirsten and Rose, I believe, should have all been there.
Mhm.
Kirsten had like fabric that she got and ended up incorporating into her like costume.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was basically just they were trying to heighten the quests again. It wasn't quite linear, but it was like, hey, let's reward people that want to dive even deeper. And then they would the thought process was like, make everything else a little more generalized so that you don't have to update it as often and it can run for a few weeks to a month. And then
Mhm.
the ever level quests would be for the people that come super super frequently. Like that was the conceit, at least as far as I understood it, like when
Yeah.
we discussed it after the fact. And these were available for anybody to find, so like anybody could get put onto these quests. And then in fact there was another one or two that happened after this that we never won or got to participate in it, but we had to solve a bunch of riddles and then find keys. It was tough. It was really tough.
Like physical keys that were hidden throughout the park.
Yes, that's correct. So we were finding like if I remember right, the story to this was oh, what's his name? Not Orin. There was another pirate that Orin was always with. And he had left and left instructions to Orin on how to find basically his pirate treasure that he left for him because he's like, hey, I'm sorry I have to leave, but I'll set you up for life or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and so he had like collected these treasures, and so he's like, hey, I just can't, like I need help with this or whatever to figure it out. So we were helping him out. Um, Solved all the clues, found the keys, and then there was a chest that was in the river underneath the bridge by the tavern. And so we didn't. we didn't get to like wade in there with it, but
Okay.
then the character I wanted to so bad, it would have been awesome. But safety reasons, obviously, they're like, no.
Mhm.
And so they went in there, they pulled the chest out, we found it, and there was just, there was tons of gold in there. Um, so we had that at the time. They had like bank accounts, and so we got to add some of that to our bank accounts, and then we each got to choose an item out of the chest as well to keep. And this is the one that I kept. So this is one of the props that the it's an elven dagger. So
Mhm.
that's the one that they used.
What other kind of stuff what were the other items in the chest?
There was like a compass and some man, I can't quite remember either because they but then there was like fabric and cloth, some of it that was like it was like similar to the elven clothes.
Mhm.
And so and then they just had there was quite a bit of elven stuff in there, but it was mostly like similar props or artifacts that they used
That's cool.
around the park beforehand, which was like really fun. And then it never happened, but we were going to be really annoying, and because the additional reward is like part of any of the ever level quests, they were going to try and make them like permanent props that stayed in the park. So the chest was going to get a plaque on it with kind of whatever we wanted to say and then our names on it.
Yeah.
And because we're cheesy, we asked them to do it in vampiric. The real treasure is the friends we made along the way. Because you have
But
to.
that you said that never actually ended up happening.
No, it's just a
Oh, bummer.
budgetary thing, and I
Yeah,
think anyway. So
that would have been a cool thing though. I like
yeah,
I
I'm
like that
okay.
as a somebody spends like an hour decoding it.
Yeah, that was which I would have felt bad too. I spent a lot of time. I threw a lot of people off. Like they would have chalk in the park, and I'd write vampiric, um, uh, just on the sidewalk. And I ran into people one day like that had been trying to translate it. It's like, I'm so sorry. That was just nonsense that I wrote. I was like, I wrote that like Turdo is the real enemy or something. It's like,
Yeah.
and they,
It was
and they
like
were like,
not from the park at all.
yeah, which I was like, felt so bad about. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, they're like, it's okay. We still had a blast.
Yeah,
They were,
exactly. That's the thing.
yeah,
Like the silly stuff. Like, I don't know. People create their own stories that they experience anyway. So,
right. These were the journals that they were selling at the beginning. Again, real leather, love it. Like, I just, I loved so much of what they made. Like, even if I
yeah.
never used it. Um, these were another one. This is something that I got. Um,
The dragons.
the dragons. So I got Aelin, Ildrax, and then I forget the red one, but he had a name too.
So these were sold at Evermore. They were in like the Kettle Cafe or something.
Yes, that's correct. There was again, these were pretty limited. These were made by what was their name? Snuggable Sweet. I think
Okay.
they're still on Instagram. They make wonderful, wonderful plushies. I love these so much. These ones I'm just saving, for my kid.
Yeah.
So
Which is on the way. You won't have to wait that much longer.
that's correct. Yes, I am. I am. So that it will be fun. And then Um, yeah, so they're really fun. This one's Ildrax is technically a wyvern. These ones are because she doesn't have arms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought
So
I noticed that, but I wasn't sure. I was just imagining things.
no, I was like the intentional design. I was like, I love that. I was like just really small things there. And then this is the faking.
Yeah.
So this is
There's
one of
our
the
boy.
yeah, I was like, those are one of the ones that we gave away. So and then I obviously kept one for myself.
Yeah,
So
you have to. That's the first thing that you were
right.
kind of enthralled by. So,
Oh, speaking of, here's another, well, not speaking of, but here's another thing that goes to my nerdiness in terms of game rules.
oh,
I was so fed up of the government like just doing whatever they wanted, and it was just creating confusion. Um,
Section 1.01.
oh, it's a whole charter. Bobby Cody and Mallory came up to me because I my final draft of this I printed on like parchment paper and then like tied it with ribbons and whatever and gave it to him. And they talked to me afterwards, like a couple days or like when I finally joined, and they're like, dude, come on, dude. Like what? It's like you just made us like you just gave us such a huge headache. I was like, I'm sorry. It's like it'll help if you do it. I was like, I put a lot of thought into it, specifically how you can exploit it so that you could still have plenty of storylines whenever you want. So, like,
This
but
is so crazy. This is showing in practice the type of like specificity that you mentioned when you were starting out the podcast.
yeah, I was like, because
You
this
have to
is
have
what
everything drawn out.
yeah, I was like, here's legal officers, departments and agencies. Like the other impetus for me creating this is I wanted to a lot of like the drama at the time is that all the guilds were fighting and they wanted, different power or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, let's if we have a town charter, we can create licensure
Hmm.
like official licensure for the guilds. And so I liked to play a whole like political angle because like again I could do it through letters, so that if people couldn't get it to it that day, they'd write me a letter like later, and then I get it delivered to me back, which I loved. It just was so much fun. It's like, oh yes, this thread I completely spaced has now come back to me. And so, which was pretty fun. I think stuff like that can help. Here's da, da, da. Sorry, I was just kind of show and tell, not a lot to talk about. These
We've
were
heard of these
gifts.
ones before.
These were gifts. Just if people are wanting to look at them closer,
Yeah,
these are character medallions. I was never a character in a park, but these were gifted to me.
yeah.
Um, just again to like show and like we wanted to take pictures to like show guests. It's like, hey, look for these. Like that's who you talk to. So these
These are the
ones,
very early
yeah,
ones. Yeah, they didn't have these by the time I came around at all.
these are the super early ones, really hard to miss. And they did still have these pretty early on. And then I've shared this anecdote before. These ones, sorry, let me try and hold it to, it's like mirrored for me. So,
Yeah,
but,
it looks great over here.
these ones are the original coins that you could get. And the mold for these broke. And they would give them out as rewards. So I have my like personal copy that I got for like a quest finishing back then.
Yeah, but
Um,
these are actually like they can't make more of these even if they were around and wanted to because
that
the universe
yes,
is broken.
they would look a little different from everything that I've been told. That I was told this pretty early on, like in that first lore, even that they're like, hey, cherish these. They don't have very many of these. The mold's already broke. Like
Mhm.
that's what everyone told me back then. So and then they transitioned to these, which were glow in the dark, and then lost that over time.
Mhm.
Then they moved to these, which was fun, and then you could put like little glow sticks in them so
Yeah,
that they could
little
still glow, which
capsule
was
hold up.
pretty ingenious in terms of like cost savings and stuff like that.
Yeah. That one I think might have been 3D printed if I remember. Does it have the lines that indicate it's 3D printed or do you think that came out of a mold?
So if it was 3D printed, it definitely has some lines, but it was probably the mold that was
They
3D
3D
printed.
printed the mold and then used.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
this is
Yeah, that tracks.
oop, I just broke it.
Oh no, I feel so terrible.
That is not your fault at all. I barely put any pressure on it at all. It's probably just the resin is brittle. So it was bound to happen anyway.
Oh, Skyler.
You're good. I am happy to have we saw it. It's now encapsulated forever in this video. So
Yeah.
and I oh yeah, I got all the pieces. I can at least glue it back together. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's okay. Poetic. Everything else like Evermore. You only love it if it's a little broken. Oh. Um,
One question I have,
yeah,
just as like you continue to keep putting your sleeves up here, what are you
yeah.
wearing right now? What is
Oh,
this
this is one of the costumes I would wear. The lighting's probably not great, but this is one of the costumes I would wear.
in
So I
part?
got in park. So this is my cold winter outfit. I could put
Oh,
like cold weather stuff under there. So I was like, we're doing Evermore. I was like, I got to dress up a little bit. It's kind of
yeah.
pajama cloak.
That's awesome. That looks really cool. That's
Thanks.
nicer than anything I ever put together.
So
Um,
yeah.
I know that you recently went to the World Hopper Ball. I wanted to say World Walker so bad.
Oh yeah.
The most recent one. Did you wear a costume to that? Was it the same costume or?
It was a different costume. So when I went to Evermore, I was always dressed like Kaladin from The Way of Kings.
Okay, so very appropriate to wear
Yeah.
to kind of. Well, I guess it was Mistborn this most recent time, but
Oh yeah. Which phenomenal. I'm crushed they're not doing another one this year.
yeah.
Hopefully they come back. Fun fact on those. Dan is he worked for Dragonsteel. He just recently left to start his own authorship stuff, but
Oh, cool.
he wrote the scripts for both of those. Um,
Yeah. They had a sign up there that indicated that it had, and I was like, "Oh, Daniel Phipps!" Like
yeah,
I know that name from somewhere. Um,
yeah,
but that's dope. So you enjoyed the event, like you thought that that was because your nerdiness and like
yeah.
interest in fantasy things did not end with Evermore Park. It's still like a part of who
Oh,
you are.
absolutely. I was like, I love to dress up and I love to go experience stuff like that. I mean, like everything, I'm a logistical guy, so I think about logistics and I'm like, yeah, there's definitely improvements. There's always going to be, and it's just going to be a matter of like priorities of what people, would prefer in their event. And then, uh, but overall, I loved them. They were incredible and well worth the price, I think. And they took feedback from the first one into the second. That was another one. When I walked into both of those, I just like immediately get, misty eyed. Is like
Yeah.
these people have, they get it. They get it. So, all right. Well, let me. I don't want to. Again, I don't want to keep you for forever. Let me jump to some of the real big hitters I got here for
Okay,
you.
cool.
Like again, I'll talk forever. It's a problem I have, but so these are one of the fun ones that I told you about here is I have again, this one was a gift to me. So you have the Aurora coin
Hmm.
here. Let me do this. So you have the coin here. This is the Wolves of Winter
Mm.
and the Aurora 2019. They did try to test out a few other ones, and these coins are some of my favorite collectibles. Here is a prototype, and you can kind of see why they didn't go with this one. Even in person, you can't really tell
It's just
the
lumpy.
detail. So let me try to catch the light there. So this is the wolf's head side, or oriented in the same.
Gotcha. Yeah,
It's
it's not recognizable really
I know.
on
I
the
was
other
like, let
side.
me. I think sometimes when it's not as lit, you can kind of. Or let me get a flashlight. I was doing some tests. There you go. You can kind of see that there. That's the aurora, or the like lettering side there. Orient them the same way. So
I guess I'm either imagining it or I can kind of see
yeah,
like
it's like you can kind of see it as like the A for the end of aurora is like
uh-huh.
right there. Even in person, as like it looks this indecipherable.
Yeah. So
um,
it
but
didn't go that direction.
this is a fun one. And then I think, and then this is one. So this is probably my second to biggest holy grail, if I had to call one that. Oh, here's a funny one too. This is probably the worst coin.
Just in terms of like boring design, you mean?
Well, it was for the pirate soiree. Loved it. Fun party. What is going on with his hat? Look at like it's like clip art and off centered and like
Yeah, it's like offset to the right. Yeah. Also, if it's supposed to be like a cohesive set of collectibles to have all these coins, it's so
oh
different
yeah,
from the design of the other ones.
100%. Which I got. I think I have. Oh, I have this one too. This one was the Zodi one. Not a lot of people got these ones. You could buy them eventually, but and I don't have the original one. There was a Zodi quest where you had to finish it, and if you finish it, you got a gold version of these. So
Okay.
yeah.
Was that like the one that had to deal with like meditation almost? I never.
Um,
I might be reaching at nothing. I'm
no,
just
no,
trying to
you're good.
remember if I.
I don't actually know because I didn't do it. It was only available for like 2 days, and I wasn't there those days.
Okay.
But yeah, so here's the coins. I love the coins. My all-time favorite one is the lore coin. It is just I it's the thickness of it, but it's
Hmm.
just gorgeous. I
That's the only Evermore collectible I have in terms of like something that has some heft to it like that. I have
oh yeah.
um which I won in a giveaway
Oh, did you?
from Ever Adventurous's channel.
Oh heck yeah, yeah. She always makes such good content.
Yeah, I she's the best.
This is my second to biggest grail, and I will say I don't know if I'll get. This was given to me so early on.
Uh-huh.
Like this was like probably the third Evermore thing I ever got. This is the Evermore business plan.
What is on that table of contents? It's so
It's
extensive.
ginormous. So I'll kind of hit some of the things that I found interesting.
Uh-huh.
Here, obviously, it's explaining in a billion different ways. Like, it's not a theme park. It's not an event space. It's not
But what
discover.
is it? You keep
It's
saying
all
everything
of
it's not.
them. And it's like
Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
you're like it is, but also pick a lane.
Yeah.
No, I was like, which is okay. I was like, let's see. So yeah, so here from like the very beginning, they were planning on this uh like the the seasons. And a lot of it what talks about is like, yeah, here, right here is, and this is part of why I have beef with the layout of the park, is you were only meant to be in there for like 90 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's about how long it takes to walk through the park slowly. Like,
Yeah, and so yeah, and then you get yeah three, split into three different 30-minute sections, and so this is kind of what the first lore actually felt like. It was like you're supposed to enter in, you see the faking. Well, the faking was technically supposed to be the last, but he's a good, he's at the end of the loop, so you
mhm.
get a good mix. Oh, this mentions the mobile app. They did test that once. I wish I had screenshotted it. It was kind of fun.
Oh, you got to test the mobile app. The
Yeah,
Okay. What was
there's
it
pro-
like? What was it gonna, was it just gonna be like a park map or is
it
it interactive?
it it was interactive. It was a gamification, which like worked pretty well, and like you could. I think they only did it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and they had like a QR code that anyone coming in could scan and download the app to test it. It was
Oh.
just a web based one at the moment when they were doing it, but
When did
um,
when did you like what year, if you can remember, would they have had that available? I know that they
if
had it open for like guests to use to that extent.
I think it was Mythos, either 2019 or 2020 would have to be my guess. Um, because I remember it being really sunny out, and so I think it was definitely Mythos.
Yeah.
But I don't know for certain. Um, that feels right to me in terms of like the vibes. It was pretty fun. It was like they combined two different ways. It was like you could do, um, you could use it as a map. You could use it to kind of guide you around, learn about the guilds. You would be able to select a guild, create a character, like say what guild you're a part of, and then as you would level up, it would be like you had to either be in a certain spot to do it, or you just had to like answer questions and like type in questions of
Mhm.
like, who committed this theft or whatever. You type it in, it's like you solved it, you know.
You put in the correct word. We recognize this.
Yeah,
Huh.
exactly. Excuse me, sorry.
That's interesting. Yeah, that reminds me of like in college, the way that you take tests and stuff is just,
Oh yeah,
just
I think it would have been a great tool. I don't know if I ever would have stuck with it, but like Evermore desperately needed again that magic circle, that training moment to get
Mhm.
people on board, specifically people that didn't know like what was going on.
Yeah, some level of guidance. When I talk to people about Evermore, which is frequent, that's still one of the most common things I hear from people who I don't know through Evermore.
Oh yeah,
I went one time, but I didn't understand like what there was to do. It seemed.
exactly. Which that reminds me of these. I had these. So these are the quest cards that they did. The
Oh
little
yeah.
um the reason why I think these failed is because you had to pay for them. So
Yeah, and at that point, when you need them most, you're not going to be buying
yeah.
extra stuff
Or
for
they
free.
would do, I think like this one or like one of these would be given out for free, but you had to, I mean, and they were like $2 or $3 or something, but um it's kind of hard, to convince people like, hey, to play, you paid a ticket to play the game, buy some more cards.
Yeah,
These are pretty too. I always loved these. I
yeah,
have
this is really
my
great.
stamped ones and unstamped ones. So
The
um,
stamp is that they've been completed. Like it was a
yeah,
knowledge that you finished the quest.
yeah. And then this one was um, I liked this too because it was a little bit of buy back in. When you took it back in, you'd get a discount at
Hmm,
the mercantile, which was kind of nice.
nice.
So
Is that the
yeah,
only lore one that they had?
um, I think so actually, because yeah, I'm pretty certain because this is 2019 lore, and you had to. It was either this one or there was another. Findings to never more play. Yeah, I think it was because you had to like I think you started getting this one at they had like carnival games. It's like when they had
Mhm.
their like circus carnival games, which that was a fun vibe. I liked that one. Um and then this one was
I saw a lore logo on that one. Yeah.
yeah, this one was another one. I think this was given out at like a FanX or something too. Or no, this is the one that gave you the discount actually. Let me see. I took notes. Let's see. Yeah, Lord 2019 discount card. Given upon completion of some quests, talk to Wisteria the Tree Witch to help reinforce a magical barrier. Do, do,
Tree
do.
Witch.
What?
I'm not familiar with Wisteria the Tree Witch. It's
Oh,
another character that slipped by my. Oh man, I wish that I knew more about
that
Tree Reset Evermore.
that's okay. It's like it's like they. Oh yeah, the troll value cards you get, and then oh yeah, grid racing.
Come to the grid.
um, which speaking of troll cards, as I jump over, these were fun too. I loved these. These were just a fun, especially for kids. I think this is such a good one. Is the troll values. So let me
Oh,
jump back over. It's like that was something that I just think that they needed so desperately is like take it home, get stuff to take it home.
yeah.
Um, and then what was this? It's something interesting there. Oh, this is one of those, not quite the same, but this is one of the original maps to the
Yeah.
park.
This is actually genuinely like they printed it out and gave it to you, not like you
Yes.
found the file and printed it out yourself.
Yes, exactly. So this was in the park.
Is
This
this
is
the
their
original season?
yeah, this is from lore. This is originally lore. Or actually this one might have been I think this one might have been Fan X,
Oh,
but
okay.
let me
But like
see.
right from like 2018
Oh,
level.
yep. Yeah, Fan X at 2019. So they
Gotcha.
printed some more of these off.
Sick.
So that's where I got that one. That's the back of it. So
That's so nice.
yeah. It's like because I listened to I watch all your other videos too. So I was like, what stuff people have talked about in there that I can show?
This is awesome.
Um, and then yeah, I think there was another one. See, yeah, see, I went a little hard. Here's, the coloring pages. Oh,
Evermore
this is
did.
the one that they gave out for free. This is the quest to get started in Mythos for free. They like printed them
Okay.
out on regular paper, and then kind of gave the like breakdown of like, here, what's a quest? What do they do? Like, here's um, how to get leveled up or whatever.
But I feel like even just with the free one, a lot of people think of that as like the peak of Evermore. Like the
Yeah,
in terms of like defining the gameplay and or maybe not defining, but like helping people to understand it. Like
it
that was
was just
really the peak.
the gamification. People just needed like the right kind of push,
Mhm.
and the bards or like people at the front always helped. But uh, some people just don't like talking to people, and they need a little bit
Yeah.
of a buy-in before that happens, which is tough. That's tough to sell, but let me see. I got these a little mixed up. I think it's my bottom. It goes there. So these are another. The collectibles were fun when they were like these are just made out of paper. They
Yeah.
would create that picture on the back, and then they have the different like values, which were funny. I really loved the trolls. They cracked me up.
The trolls value kindness.
Yeah. What was they had the what was their accent? Oh, I always have to get into it, but I would do it. They would always go, "Thank you. Yes, thank you for being safe on the bridge. Walking over the bridge. That's
So
a good value."
it says number 18 at the top middle for support, but
Yes,
there aren't 18 of these, right? Like,
that is correct. You've nailed it
okay.
right on the head.
It was always just to like
Uh,
make you think that there was more to seek after. Or...
yeah, because at least as far as I'm aware, they were pretty nonsensical in that regard. I just because they were just kind of these funny, silly characters. So I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was just part of the bit. But I don't know. Maybe there was,
Yeah, that's
more, but nothing that I ever found or heard of. So, which like that's the thing too is like I went so much. So like that first lore season, I went the 3 times, and then pretty much after that, I was there almost every day.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, you
and
can't do much more than that. Jeez.
I still missed stuff, which was like just crazy talk.
Yeah.
Um,
But
with
that was one of the weird things about the format too, is there's so
Yeah,
much going on that you can't actually, as one human being, take all of it in, really.
yeah, but it was also help like, and in one of the lores, I remember I think it was Bobby Cody. He was talking about how they did that deliberately. It's like we would deliberately schedule 2 tableaus across the park because we wanted to foster like a community environment where people had to work together. And so that was kind of cool. And I was like, I can kind of get on board with that. Um, oh yeah, here's some like I don't know what I put here. This is something put Utah tourism match. I don't know why I put that.
Maybe like how does the population of Utah match with this type of offering? Because there's been a lot of talk about like, oh hey, like Utah isn't the best place for like people who understand theater, and there's been a lot of pushback to that as well, where it's like they
Yeah.
are actually really interested in theater.
Yes. I was like, that's part of why Fan X is so big, is because the
Mhm.
Utah population is incredibly nerdy.
Yeah, like yes. I think that's maybe something that isn't known that well outside of Utah, but it's like really this was a good place for it actually.
Oh yeah, I think it was an excellent market for it. Oh, that I just don't think that they marketed it. So
Yeah, people
Giselle,
didn't know.
she used to work in marketing, and this is something that she would talk about all the time. I mean, she still kind of works in marketing, but she specifically worked for tourism marketing, and
Mhm.
they have grants in Utah basically where if you put up money that incentivizes tourism to like advertise your event or something, they will match your contribution up to like a certain amount of money.
And
So
we never took advantage of that at
as
Evermore. Or
I doubt they did because
yeah.
I don't know for certain. I really don't think they did though because
We would have seen the ads at least.
yeah, I was like I'm the target market. Everything would have shows me everything Evermore. Um, I think this is, oh yeah, here we go. This is something that they were like really wanted to, is a parent company. This is the parent company, and that they were looking to park expansions into new markets. They really wanted
Mhm.
this to be like stay the size it was, at least at this time when they put this one together. I know the original offering was like a 32-acre park,
Yeah.
and then it got, just for funding reasons, it slowly got whittled down to like the 11. or 13. That number always like changes for me. When I heard it, I think it's like 11 operable like inside the park and 13 like in total or something like that. So
Yeah, and a lot of the time they would just average it and say 12 anyway. So
yeah,
you
it's
can
like
kind of
who knows? I mean, someone knows, but does it really matter that much? I don't know. Um, Here's yeah, phase one developments. Oh, this is where they like talk about the different areas, which I always loved. This is always again, this is the type of boring stuff that I enjoy.
does it
This
have
is
like sometimes books have like a copyright at the beginning that's get like, it dates it. It says when this was made. This would have
ooh,
been
it's a
before
good
2018 even.
it's a good question. I would think so. Um, it's an excellent question. Let's see. Maybe back.
Yeah, it seems like it just jumps right into the table of contents, huh?
Here's the people that made it. They were all on the like Kickstart engine, I think was something that they it's a place. So I found that was part of like one of the researches I did early on was finding the yeah, I don't think it's in here.
Yeah,
Probably just
some of the people dated it a
yeah.
little bit. Like I think I saw Josh Stedman's picture.
Yeah, this was definitely like well, I got this in 2018, so it was definitely around then
Yeah,
because I got it
couldn't have
like
been earlier. I would even
yeah,
say than 2018.
I got it that Aurora, I think, is when someone gifted this to me.
Wow.
Um, which I won't say who. I don't know if I'd be getting like
Yeah, fair.
I was like I don't know. I was like I who knows? I don't even know where they're at, where they ended up actually. Here's the mobile app. Yeah, oh right here, target markets. This is literally what we were just talking about. Highlighted this because you got Family Gen Z, Fantasy Geek Culture. Um, this one cracks me up because this is me.
The target market. That's
Yeah,
their screening.
he's like nailed it. So um, yeah, it was like, kind of fun. Uh, Millennials, Gen Z. This is the other thing too, is like they identify millennials as the target market, but I don't ever feel like they tried to gear again advertising
Mhm.
towards that market. But
We were just assuming that's who would like it, but not trying to appeal to them.
yeah, I don't know. That was like, I mean, I always hate that with any company where they're like, who's our target demographic? And they're like, everybody. I'm like, right, but what about this specific ad campaign?
Yeah.
Everyone. Like, okay, so no one will see this, which is okay. It's like that's just me. Oh, that's part of what it was. Where was I at there? So this is the stuff phase two that never came out that I
Yeah.
really would have liked. This is a lot of the art that we saw too in the creative studios was like their concept art and they
Mhm.
I kept trying to ask, no one would ever give it to me. If you have it now, please, I want it desperately. They have a VR walkthrough of the park at
I
I think
wish.
at the 32-acre scale and
Yeah.
I want it.
Yeah, I've heard about it too. All that I've seen is there's more clips than can be seen in the teaser video and
Yes.
some old news footage from that period of time.
Yes.
So they
Yep.
gave the news the VR, the thing that you could walk through, or at least
Right.
video from it. But yeah, that's all that I have ever seen.
Yeah, it was like I would assume just video. There's my other light finally charged, but
Nice.
these are the ones that I wish had come to be made is like the Devonshire Manor because where's
Yeah,
that?
kind of
Which
like a
is
mansion
yeah, it's like so this is the grass areas that like
in the
like
center of the park.
yeah. So like let me grab where was that map? Right here. So this is the entrance, Vander's Keep around here. So this is where the manors and stuff and the ye old town shops were supposed to go that were just grass fields. And then that's the hedge maze where the stage was with the clock tower and whatever.
Yeah,
Or
the
I,
clock tower isn't even on here, right? Because wasn't that supposed to be kind of where the maze was?
I think it was more right here
Oh,
in
gotcha.
this whatever this rendition is, but yeah, it is. Oh no, it's right. It is right there. It's really small.
Oh, okay.
It's got like a shadow in the imagery, like right there.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
saying like this is
Yeah. This
okay.
is
I
tall.
understand now.
And like this right here is like where the events and stuff were supposed to happen, I think. And the this is Devonshire Manor. So
Would have been cool.
I know I was like, this is like that's like again, these like even just these little mock-ups is like I would love this because one of my all-time favorite theme park lands to go to is Diagon Alley at
University of
Universal in
Florida.
Florida. It's so good, and it just adds a lot of realism, I think. So
Yeah. They actually that's the first place I encountered something like this because I remember going into they have like the coin exchange or the money exchange
yeah.
at Gringotts where it's not in Gringotts like where the ride is, but there's a goblin animatronic in there, but it's controlled by a living actor. So you
Oh
can
yeah.
pop in like converse with the goblin. And I remember I went up to the employee and I was like, "What is this? Like this is so cool. Like is it like an animatronic or a puppet? Like, is there like is the person controlling it like right under there or like remotely? Like, how does this all work?" And the dude just looked at me and he's like, "It's a goblin." Like what are you actually talking about? And I remember being mad at the moment, like you know what I'm talking about. But it's like one of the first times that like that somebody like really stayed in it. It's like, no, you're in a magical world. We're not gonna talk about the falsehoods of it. This is
Right.
real.
I remember talking to him too, and that would I did love that goblin at Universal, and I we actually did the we exchanged money for the like
Oh yeah.
the Green Gots dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, this I think is probably my favorite thing.
The
This
number
is
one.
the number one because this is like the key part, and they again when we went and helped them get like dump stuff out, we didn't work for them. They just were kind of asking for volunteers, and we offered, and so they weren't offering anything,
Mhm.
and they asked for, I was like, they were just going to throw this away. And so I was like, well, can I just have it instead? Um, Not anything terribly cool, but it is a blueprint for the lampposts.
Yeah, and it's the real thing. Like this is
Yeah.
your actual functional from the park
Uh,
one.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's like this could be a copy who, I don't really know how architecture works, but um, this is like all the different like lanterns and like unification that they were having.
Yeah, I never
Um,
even thought about the fact that like they're subtly different but designed to be
yeah. Well,
built.
it's like you could even like see here where they sketched in to make these ones smaller, which is
Uh-huh.
funny, like which is also fun. Yeah, I like it. You get to see a little bit of the notes, so or maybe you can't quite right there, my camera. So this is kind of my thing because I'm like I really like this one because it's like um it's like it's a piece of the building the park, and I was like that's really cool. And another reason why I'm like you won't beat me, Jenny. That's okay though.
I have things that literally no one else has.
Which is okay. I don't mind if she did. I just nothing
Yeah.
like some fun rivalry though.
Yeah.
She's really
We both have
nice.
wonderful collections.
Yeah, she's really nice. She's really nice to talk to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sweet. Thanks so much for taking the time to show this collection. I loved seeing all this stuff. Is
Yeah.
that, I don't mean to cut you off. Is that everything that you wanted to show off or?
Sure. I mean, that's all the cool stuff. I was like, I always got plenty of more, but
Yeah.
it's just more of the um, you know, like postcards and whatever. Oh, not true. I did have one thing. How could I forget? How could I forget? So this, if I can pull it out, my word. Maybe I'll just show it this way. Did you ever hear, or were you there for? I don't remember if you were the Magic Campfire.
I've heard of, but yeah, it was before my time.
So this is, I think it would have been, I think it was 2019 Aurora, or maybe 2020. I don't quite remember. So this is the ticket, the VIP ticket at Drakenhaven, February 2nd.
Okay. So you were one of the people who got an actual gold ticket. Uh,
It was brutal. Find like They did not. Some people got invited. We did not. I was very mad.
So people who didn't get invited had to like trade Septus for it, right? Is that
Yes.
so? Did you have to give away something really valuable for it, or what?
Luckily at the time he took it was a game of chance, and at the time when gold was more important in Evermore, we
Uh,
gave him I just told everyone, I was like, hey, sorry I gave away all of our gold because I was holding it for everybody. And
yeah.
so that's what I gave away. And the Magic Campfire was pretty cool. I don't know if anyone ever shared this. It was cool. It was just more, it was a tech demo that just happened at Evermore. And it was fun to be a part of, and it could have been interesting. It was the first time anyone could go into Drakenhaven.
Mhm.
And that part also part of why no one could go into it after, because there was a giant hole in the ground because of the way that they set it up.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't know that. So they had to actually cut a hole in the floor in order to like get this magic campfire set up.
that's what I was always told. I was like, I think actors used it for a while, and that's what they were saying, is they're like, hey, there's a hole in the ground to set up like the campfire effect or whatever, to put the machining like underneath there.
Yeah.
Um, Pretty cool. It would have been a cool addition, but it was really just kind of a separate tech demo. They're the company that did uh, what's it called? The Great Wolf Lodge, like Magic Quest stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but the anyway, that was cool. The more cool part was that's when the Disney Imagineers were in park.
Yeah, yeah. Joe Rody visited, and then like who else would have been there?
I didn't get to like I saw Joe Rody, and that's all. It's the only person I saw.
Yeah.
I don't really know anybody else, but and then talking to a lot of them afterwards, part of what they came for is, one, Ken was trying to get them to invest.
Yeah.
Again, this is all what I heard anyway at the time.
But kind of an
Um,
obvious thing in that
yeah,
industry. Yeah.
yeah. You're like, yeah, obviously. It's like I don't know why else they would come. Like, Ken agreed to host it there so that he could find potential, more potential investors,
Mhm.
and then they uh, more importantly, what I learned like way later is they were there asking questions about how to run the Star Wars experience.
Yeah, starting to like kind of try to
Yeah.
copy the format a little bit.
And what I heard is they didn't listen to any of the advice.
Hey,
So
at least they asked. Like
I know, right?
they tried about like doing an attempt at research, but
Yeah.
huh.
Right. I was like, so that was kind of cool. It was like, I don't know. That's kind of it. I was like, I got so many different. It's hard to think of everything because there's just so much that happened
Yeah.
over the course. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's the last. I showed you all my cool stuff for the most
Nice.
part.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. I run into the same problem because I know that like just from every time that I've heard from you in the Evermore space, there's been some like insane knowledge drop. And I'm like, I don't even know what to ask, but because I know that it's the same thing you were talking about talking to Gudrun or whatever, and it's like,
Hmm.
oh, if you knew the questions to ask, I can answer them. But
Right.
there's like being far enough removed from that where it's like difficult. But I'm really excited that you took the time to come on and like
Yeah,
share
of
all the
course.
cool things that you did.
Yeah, thanks for
Uh,
having me. Thanks for letting me do some bragging with my collection. So I
yeah,
definitely don't get to pull it out often at all anymore. So
yeah, it was awesome to see it, and you're always welcome back if you ever want to talk about Evermore and more. Uh,
sounds good.
but yeah, and for the person watching, thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time, real soon, probably. And have a great day.
Bye.